Hello everyone and welcome to another Laravel tutorial. So if you don't know how we can create our first project, go ahead and refer these videos and you can get a clear understanding of how we can create first Laravel project. So we are going to get started. I'm going to open empty folder that I created in my desktop called Dictionary Web App. In my desktop I have this folder. I'm going to click open. Okay, now what we have to do, open the terminal in Visual Studio Code. Click new terminal and here you can type some command. The command that we have to enter is the command that we use to create our Laravel project. We can say composer hyphen project and we can specify it is Laravel and the application name we can say something like dictionary app. Now the project is being created and I will include these commands in a Word document and attach that in the video description so you can easily copy those. Alright, here we go. Project is ready and the database for this dictionary I am going to use MySQL. For that I can download XAMPP. You can search XAMPP download and go to that link. So select your operating system. I am going to download XAMPP for OS X, which is for Mac OS. Here I selected the latest version. Okay, now we can go for the next step till it is downloaded. Okay, in the terminal you can type cd and your project name. This is your project name. You can say dictionary hyphen app. Click enter. Now we are in the project folder in the terminal and the next thing we had to do is create a copy of this .env.example as .env. Okay, so let's get started. We can say in the terminal cp .env.example to .env. Okay, and you have to open this .env. If you scroll below you will see you have to replace these database name, username and the password, if needed port and the DB host. Firstly we have to uncomment those, select everything and press command and /. Otherwise if you are using Windows it should be control and /. Okay, now we have to open the XAMPP and open phpMyAdmin and create the database, and after that we can provide these details. Now let's install the XAMPP software. We can open that. Here if it is not opening in Mac OS, click Control in the keyboard and right click on that, click open. Here open. Now it may ask your computer password. Click allow. Okay, it is being installed. Okay, it is installed. We can finish it. Okay, now open XAMPP. If you are using Mac, in your launchpad you will see this XAMPP folder. In that open manager OS X. Now go to manage servers, start MySQL database and the Apache web server. Make sure it is running and go to your browser and type localhost/phpMyAdmin. Now we are going to create our database. I am going to name it as dictionary. Click create. Now the table name we have to provide like let's say words, number of columns we needed. So we may need columns like ID and English word and the definition. So let's go for 3 columns and create it. Now the first one will be ID and the second one vacha, because it will be a word also. We can say word as the column name and the last column name as meaning. It will be vacha also. The ID will be auto incremented. Click this AI and OK. So we can click save now. Yeah, we have to enter the vacha size for a word. It will not exceeding like let's say 15 letters, and the meaning let's say it could be some paragraph, so let's say 50. Click save. Now we got our table. Now we can enter some demo data. Go to insert. We can enter the word as hello. The definition for that as greeting when meet someone. Also let's insert another word. We can say good. It means something is well. I am not saying these are correct definitions for these words. I just need some demo data. School, the place where students studies. Okay, for now we have 3 rows of data. We can continue our Laravel project. Okay, so the next step is execute the command called php artisan key generate. So what this will do is allow Laravel to do several things like encrypt user sessions and other sensitive data and generate secure tokens like that. This is compulsory. php artisan key generate. Laravel able to use that key to encrypt and decrypt various data such as user sessions and cookies. Now the next step is we can go ahead and replace these things like providing the database name. It was here dictionary. We can copy that and paste it here. In most case username will be root. To double check, go to phpMyAdmin and here go to home page of that, click user accounts and you can see this is username, and if there is a password you can see yes here. Now there are no password, that's why we can see no. So we can keep this password empty, and the DB host, let's check that it is correct, 127.0.0.1. Okay, now the next step is create the model for our database. We can say in the terminal php artisan and make :model and the model name. You can use the table name for that. For example, here words. It is not compulsory, we can provide that later if needed, but let's use the table name words. Yeah, it's php artisan make :model words. Okay, now if you go to app models, you will see this words model. I told you that we can specify what is the table name in the model. For that, only we have to do say protected and specify table, set that equals to the table name you have. In my case, the table name was words. As long as the model name is equals to the table name, we don't have to use this one. But if the model name is different than the table name, you have to use this code line. If you are wondering how we can provide fillable columns names, here in the phpMyAdmin we can see columns names are word and meaning. ID will be automatically generated. So we can say protected and we have to type fillable and set that equals to here in square brackets we can provide the column name. First one was word and the last one is meaning. Okay, finally semicolon. Alright, the next step is create the controller. So we can go ahead and say php artisan make :controller and the controller name is, we can say word controller. Now if you see in this app http and controllers, we have the word controller and we need the view also. For that we can go ahead and say php artisan make :view, let's say word. Now if we hover to this resources views, we have word.blade.php. Great. Now in our controller, this one, I am going to go ahead and call for the index. The view will be returned as the main page for that controller. We can say public function index. Now in the braces we have to return view and we have to provide the view name is word dot index. Okay, semicolon. Now we can go ahead and open the words word view, and in this view we can start to type doc type HTML. Now HTML tags, and the head title is dictionary app, and closing the title, and after the head ending tag we can create the body tag, body. Alright, now what I had to do, just create a form. Let's firstly say h1 tag, mentioning this is a dictionary app, and the form. Now for the action we will set the path as /search, and after that the method will be get, and in the form we need the input that allows user to type something. Input type as text, and the name is query. And we have to provide some placeholder which will be the hint for the input field. We can say something like search for a word. User cannot click the submit button unless they type something here in the input field. That's why I added this required keyword. Okay, I'm going to in that, and we'll add the button. Type is submit, and we can say search. Alright, so and we have to open our routes. Go to web.php in the routes folder. So currently the default page will be the welcome, this welcome.blade.php. So we can remove this, and in the top we have to say use app and then backslash, here this folder, and in that we have our controller in the http folder, then controllers, and it is word controller. Okay, and the next step is we can say the new route for our home page, route : get, in the parentheses we can say / in single quotes to define the home page, and second argument we can provide in this braces word controller : class, and we are going to call for it is index. It will return this word.blade.php. Okay, now it will be index. Alright, finally semicolon. Now we are going to provide another route for the path search, and the argument as word controller : class, and it is we are going to create a new one in word controller called search. We have to create that here. Let's say public function search. It will take an request, and the name for that request will be request. Okay, for now we can keep this empty, and now we can go ahead and run our Laravel application. In your terminal, type php artisan serve. Now if you run your application, you will see some error. Database file path does not exist. Ensure this is an absolute path to the database. So what we can do, just open .env file and go to database details section, and if you check DB connection, it's indicate it is SQLite, but we are using MySQL. Okay, now we can save and run again, but we will see another error. That's because it is checking whether the base tables required by Laravel is available, but those are not available. For that, we can do is run the command in the terminal php artisan migrate. Okay, now if we check our page again, this time we have to run it php artisan serve. After running the application, I am seeing another error, the word index view not found. That because in my views I directly created this word.blade.php. What we can do, just create a new folder there called word. In the views folder, I created the word folder. Now then I can remove this word.blade.php to index.blade.php after moving that to word folder. Okay, finally I'm going to rename it is to index, then run the page again. Now we can see this is the web page. We can search something here and click search. Currently the search part is not implemented. We can go to word controller, and the first step is we are going to get the query from this request. We can say dollar query is equals to request and taking the input query, because if you check our index, this is the input field and this is the name. We are using that name here to fetch that query, and we can put semicolon request input, and in the parentheses the name of the input is query. Okay, now we are going to take the results, set that equals to, we can use this model to fetch the data. We can call for words. In the top we have to import that. We can say use app / models, and it is words. Here words : say where, and we are going to search the word in the database. If we go to phpMyAdmin, this is the word, so we are going to search it. Searching word, and another argument is needed. We can provide the query saying like, and another argument in the single quotes I am going to provide percentage symbol and percentage symbol, and within that we are going to pass in the query to it. Okay, finally call for getting the data. Alright, now we are going to return view argument is words, this one word dot index, and we are going to pass in the data. For that we are using compacting the results. Alright, let's open the application again. We can search for a word now, hello. Okay, so here we can see the query is hello. Now we have to open our index.blade.php, and what we can do after this form, we are going to put some code here saying at if checking the result is available using is set. In the parentheses we can pass in $results, because here we are sending this results using compact, and if that's available we can put h2 search results, h2 ending tag, and I'm going to put a ul unordered list and ending tag of that ul. Also I have to put endf, otherwise I may forget it. Endf okay. Now here we can call for else. In the parentheses we can say $results as word, taking each result as word, and as list we can say li, and closing that tag, and strong so closing that also strong. Now what we can do, put double braces and show the word, this one, and say word of that. Okay, now if the collection is empty we can use at empty and showing an a list li no results found, and closing li tag, and we can say at end for else. Okay guys, this should not be the word, but it should be meaning, because in the database we need to take the meaning, not showing word again. Okay, now let's go ahead and run our page. Here we can search for hello. Now it shows no results found here, but in the database for the hello there is a meaning. The reason is, if we go to the word controller and go to the search function, here we are providing the query the variable inside single quotes, but if we want to do that thing to pass another variable to a string, we have to use double quotes in PHP. Okay, now we can go ahead and run our page. Now we can search for hello. Now we can see the meaning is coming, greeting when meet someone. Now if we go to the database and going to insert another word but the same hello word, and I am going to type something when meet for the first time it is used. Now let's go to the application and I am going to search for hello. Now you can see two meanings are coming. Okay, now if I type something in capital letters here hello, still the result is coming. That's because we are using this like keyword to check some similar value is available. Okay, now I will include this complete project in the video description. You can download that project from GitHub. So if you enjoy this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.